Hey, this is Matteo Lane.
I'm Emma Willman.
And this is Inside the Closet.
Inside the Closet. I bet my mom would come in for that.
Oh, we need your mother in.
We're back.
We need your mom in this show immediately.
We're talking about my mom watching Crazy
I
Ex-Girlfriend.
listened back. I don't listen back to our episodes. I listened back to one episode where you were talking about your mom at the wedding. I must have revisited that like 10 times in a row.
Oh, God. At my sister's wedding?
Yeah. I just find it fascinating. I don't know why. I find your mother fascinating.
And then when people first meet her, they're like, oh, she's nothing like it. And then after 10 minutes, they're like, I get it. I 100% get it. But I was also thinking about this. When I'm in my next relationship, I want someone to get along with my mother because I've noticed.
She sounds like she's pretty she's easy to get along with.
She's great. She's not the warmest up top, but
she's a wasp.
She's a wasp, and also I've noticed the more self-centered and insecure the girl is, the more threatened they are by my mom because they probably know that my mom sees right through them. So I just want some girl that's like cool to my mom and interested in. All someone has to do is show interest in my mom as a human being, and that wins her over.
Does your mom even? Does she even know who I am? I have to meet her.
I've definitely talked about you, but she gets confused with like names of people.
Matteo, that's a very common name.
Also, I'll be like, my friend Matteo, who I do a podcast with. She's like, your podcast, Wake Up with Taylor? I'm like, no, that was a radio show with Taylor.
That's my mom too about anything. I'm like, Ma, I'm doing this thing, and then she doesn't understand. It's like she's giving me the energy she knows she's supposed to give. Like I'm excited, but she doesn't know what she's excited for.
Right.
So she'll be like, "That's amazing! I'm so proud of you. What is it?"
Right. You're like,
and you're like, "Well, Ma, it's
a doctor's
thing,"
appointment.
But it's like, yeah, it just.
My mom does remember though when things don't work out. Like she pulled this out of something where I was like, "Oh, that's what you bring up." When I got Crazy Ex, she's like, I'm really excited, but what happens if you get cut like that VH1 show? I'm like, that you remember?
Wait, the VH1 show you were filming that cut all of a sudden. First, for a split second, I thought you were on like Flavor of Love. I was like, wait, what show did you get kicked off of on VH1? That was VH1's heyday. We'll get to that in a minute. With Tiffany from New York, who I met, by the way.
She was a star.
She is a star.
She's a star.
She is cuckoo. She is a smarter Snooki. Who I don't like Snooki. I met Snooki twice.
I do like her.
Did you meet her?
Never met her.
I met her on the red carpet.
Nice.
I've never met a more combative human being in my entire life.
Maybe because she's so small, so she always has to defend herself.
First of all, it was a gay event, and I was doing the red carpet, and like Billie Jean King is like, if she can be super nice, there's no reason for Snooki to be upset with me. And so I even try to like say hi, like I was like, oh my God, hey girl, what's up, Paisan? I'm like, I'm another Italian, and she goes, I'm not Italian. And then I go, oh, I thought that was the entire concept of Jersey Shore. And then I said, weren't you adopted? By the way, I got into a fight with Vanessa Williams on the red carpet. I don't give a shit.
Matteo, you're going in.
I said, I was like, well, weren't you adopted by an Italian family? She goes, yeah, I guess. And I was like, okay, well, I just did this show with your buddy, Vinny. I'm not friends with him. And then I said, cool, is there anything you're going to say that's going to be nice? I don't understand
something to work with here.
I know.
If someone thought I was Italian, I'd be very flattered.
No one would think you're Italian.
I know.
You were as white as the driven snow.
Couldn't be. But yeah, if someone thought I was, I mean, that's like.
I was doing the red carpet for Divas Live for Christmas. And let me just put it this way. I'm not good on the red carpet. I mean, I think I ask interesting questions, but like Ashley Judd was really great.
I love her.
She was so nice. She talked forever. And Jojo was the nice.
I love Jojo. Wait, Jojo man or Jojo woman?
Jojo woman.
Jojo woman from Foxborough, Massachusetts. You guys, she sang that song. What was it? Leave, Get Out.
Yeah, get out.
And then,
da.
So Jojo, she had a great voice. Then she dated Lil Bow Wow, tried to go too urban. It didn't work out, and then she fell off for a long time.
Well, I think there was something contractual that happened because now she's like trying to come back. She performed that night, and she was fabulous.
She's got a great voice, but she's been trying to come back for a minute now.
And she'll come back. She'll find her way. People loved it.
It's been like 10 years.
I know, but she'll just...
Maybe 15.
Listen, she was nice to me.
Yeah, I know. If someone's nice to me, too, then
She was nice to me.
Right.
And she got the joke. Like, I said to her, I was like, by the way, I'm a big faggot, and I, on all these singing message boards and YouTubes, people are obsessed with your high notes. They keep comparing them to, like, Mariah. And she's like, she just laughed. She goes, I know, it sucks because it's like, now I have to, like, keep up with my old self and stuff.
Love that.
I love it.
Love it.
She gets it. And then, by the way, all these handlers on the red carpet, I've never told you this story, right? All these handlers on the carpet, right? And they'll begrudgingly let certain people talk to them. And I was next to some guy from like Access Hollywood in a fucking suit, and was like, who gives a shit? Like, and Refinery 29, I was next to them, and I didn't realize they were live, and I kept being like, faggot, shit, fuck. Like, they were like, can you stop?
Can you tone it down? Children are watching.
But when the handlers would come by to get the celebrity, I would say, oh, don't they want to talk to the gays? And then they panic, and yes, and then they panic because I was at Logo, and they panic, and then they run over. So Vanessa Williams comes over.
Oh, that's very clever, Matteo.
Oh,
that's really
listen,
you got to use whatever you can.
I gotta tell you what happened when Mariah came out, because the whole reason I did is because the producer knew I loved Mariah, and she was going to be there, and so he put me on the red carpet so I could get close to her. And so Vanessa Williams comes over to me, and beautiful, wonderful, and I was like, oh, I love that Christmas song of yours. I swear she sang the Christmas song, My Grown-Up Christmas List. And she goes, thanks so much, I have 2 albums, which one? I should have fucking said White Christmas. And I said, My Grown-Up Christmas List. She goes, I never sang that.
Oh!
And I said, yeah, you did. And then she goes, no, I didn't. And then, like, she kind of got, like, whatever with me.
Which I understand.
Because I was trying to, like, whatever. So I decided, well.
Which I understand, because that'd be like if someone was like, I love your joke about matzo balls. And you'd be like, I don't have a joke about matzo balls.
I know.
Yes, you do.
Listen, I was in the wrong. I was in the wrong. And then I said, I thought you did. And then I know. I was wrong. I was not right. I was wrong in that situation. But you know what? I came from Mariah, and then she came out. And then the thing with Mariah was like, she's not talking to any reporters.
Also, she must have had so many handlers around her.
First of all, she came out in a pink. And when I say pink, I mean like no, that if she came out in a tracksuit, I'm forgiven. But she came out in the typical quinceañera dress, right? Mermaid dress. She walked out. She said she's talking to no reporters. I'm one of the closest reporters to the part where she's standing by. So I was about 5 feet away from Mariah Carey. And the doors opened and she came out. And the frenzy of paparazzi. When she came out, I thought a bomb went off because people just
Did that make you happy
mind.
that people got so excited for her?
Well, yeah, because at this point, that's what she's kind of living for. It's just like the spotlight. So she comes out, she's standing there, some guy from Access Hollywood with a bouquet of flowers thinks he's gonna like schmooze his way in, and comes up to her, and she's arms on her hips trying to pose, looks at him, smiles, and just shakes her head no. And then he had to like tail between his legs, like, oh god, like run out of there. And it was like, Mariah! And I just stood there frozen. I was like, that's Mariah Carey. Well, because from the side, it was like there was a brief moment. I looked at her from her profile, and I thought, there's the young Mariah. That's fantasy. That's
so
Mariah.
you didn't
everything
say
else,
anything?
what was I going to say? I'm 5 feet away from this legend, and who I've openly talked shit about, who I love at the same time.
Right.
I listened to her over and over, and unlike Whitney, I keep going back to Mariah.
I know, it's like a kind of like an unhealthy relationship.
It is. It's a toxic relationship that I've come up for with myself.
Right.
But Mariah has nothing to do with it. Yeah. She just is being nice and giving music, and then I'm like panicking. But then she performed. She lip synced the whole thing. My friend Kassan was actually one of the backup dancers, and I haven't even talked to him about what happened yet. But then I got to tell you, this is the best part. This one girl, no idea who she is, beautiful young girl. She apparently wrote a song for Beyonce. She came up, and then I was talking to her, and I was like, oh, so what diva are you most excited to see perform tonight? And she goes, well, actually, I'm one of the divas tonight, and I'll be performing. And I literally go, yeah, but I'm talking like Patti and Mariah.
Woo!
And then when she came out, my instincts are so good. She came out to sing some bullshit Christmas song. It was so bad that the producers in front of 3,000 people made her sing it again.
Damn. Did she do a better job?
No, it was just as bad. I was like, support your breath. She just never had a singing lesson in her life. Then Vanessa Williams came out and sang some bullshit song and like did some honor to her daughter. When Patti LaBelle came out,
killed it.
Literally, people who were blind and couldn't walk could see and could walk again.
Wow.
She was so. I was like, Patti, what? Like, take note, women. Look at Patti. This bitch can sing everybody under the
Mateo's
goddamn
pumping
bus
his hands in the air
and bake pies.
Right. Her Patti pies.
To me, Patti LaBelle can do no wrong.
She is amazing.
She can do no wrong. I love Patti LaBelle. I'm telling that voice.
So good.
What?
So good. Show's over.
I literally people who could, if Terri Schiavo was in that audience, she would be back to normal.
We gotta get in.
Kinda...
I love when I see performances. I love, like, when I was watching them do dance numbers on Crazy X, I was amazed. I almost thought that people would think that I was being sarcastic because I saw in the script the song and the dance, and I said, like, for 4 days before, I'm excited to watch you guys sing and dance. And they were like, okay. And then as it was getting closer, I was like, I'm excited to see this. And then they did it, and it was so cool that it made me, like, I just love watching other performers who are really, really good at what they do that is not speech.
Can I be honest? I don't get dance.
This was really...
I like a tap dance.
They actually tap dance.
I would like it.
They tap dance, do backflips, they do all the stuff.
backflips. I wish I was a dancer because those bodies.
The bodies are so good. It's amazing.
My friend Joseph's a dancer in LA, and I mean, I don't even know how he does anything with this. I mean, he moves his body like it's nothing.
It's incredible.
And I can barely walk downstairs.
I got to tell you something about personal training. You're going to like this story.
I just came from the gym.
And this happened since we last talked. This is good. Okay.
You look good.
I only exercised one time in the entire 3 weeks, so it's actually not about me working out too much, but this is pretty cool. Okay, there was a TV show called The Real L Word years and years ago.
I know what The Real L Word.
The Real L Word.
Yes.
Do you know Sada from The Real... Sarah? She dated Whitney.
Houston. Who is a lesbian.
She dated, like, the main...
I think so, because I remember I was actually somewhere where she was, and all the lesbians were losing their mind, and I was like, who is this woman? And they were like, what's her name?
The one that was with Whitney was named Sarah. She changed her name to Sada. So
okay.
Well, right. So she was on this reality show years ago, and I remember thinking that she was pretty cute. So I followed her on Instagram for a long time, and who knows what is going on with her career in all areas, but she is a fitness instructor now. So when I'm wasted, back when I was drinking, now I still haven't been drinking. Apparently I sent her a message going, this is like months and months and months ago. Sent her a message, hey, what are your rates for personal training, right? So I don't remember this because I did it when I'm drunk. While I'm in LA, I get a message from her that says, my rates are this, like, let me know when you're in LA.
What are her rates?
I think they're $80, which isn't fantastic.
$80?
Yeah.
That's less expensive than the trainer I see.
I don't know if she was just giving me a deal, but she's like, my rates are $80. Let me know if you want to exercise. So I was like, what the fuck? Because first of all, the only reason I hit her up was because it was months ago and I thought she was cute.
Right.
Now, second of all, the interesting thing is I really like this person in Boston, and I'm not really even interested in talking to... I really like the girl in Boston. So I wasn't even, like, excited about this, like, personal training thing because I was like, oh, like, what weird timing on this. But I was like, this is pretty funny because now I'm going to have to, like, if I meet up with her, it's like to exercise, but it used to be like I had a crush.
Right.
But we met up, we exercised.
You met her?
I met up.
You met her?
Yeah, we met up.
Did you put on makeup?
No, because I didn't. You
didn't put on any makeup?
Maybe a little tinted moisturizer.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was going to go, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I would put, like,
but I would do myself up. But I didn't have a crush at this point because I liked the person.
But then did you end up having a crush on her at the end?
No.
Really?
She was cool.
Did she hit on you or anything?
No. This is the thing. It's so funny because I realized...
you just worked out with the real L word, Sarah.
And she was super cool. Like, she was awesome, but it was like, no. Because also I realized, I'm like, I have no desire to be with anyone in entertainment.
Can I tell you, I'm chatting with someone...
And I like the
this girl in Boston.
Girl. Yeah. So and the girl in Boston is so, I realized I actually do work well with people that, like, smoke pot because I'm so high strung.
I really don't think that this is a good idea.
But when someone's chill,
next time you're going to be falling down the Empire State Building.
But when someone's super chill, it makes me. I'll never get to the top of the Empire State Building. Are
you doing pot?
I'm not doing pot.
Did you just lie to me?
No, I swear on my mom.
But if you date this girl, are you going to do pot?
No, I have no desire to do pot.
But
we are such geeks that we call it doing pot.
Is that what it's? Isn't that
no,
what it's called?
I don't know how they refer to it.
Pot,
I
grass?
don't know. Do the weed. I don't know.
The Mary Jane.
I don't know what it is. My friend Gail.
I don't smoke.
Gail asked me. She's like, when you're in LA, can you bring me back some pot? And I was like, no, I don't want to get arrested. She's like, it's legal there. You just get the oil and then you put it in your suitcase.
No.
And I was like, oh, I can't do that. Yeah. And then she told me I could go to a dispensary, and I was like, I just walk in and say, can I have some marijuana? And she was like, never mind. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Gail, you got to find someone else. Me and Emma are like frail deer.
I cannot. Yeah, I was like, can I have some marijuana plants for a friend? And they're like,
Can I just say this is a little story about
people
Emma?
that are chill, it makes me, it's been good for me. She makes me more relaxed.
I want to talk about someone famous that I'm talking to right now.
Yes, please.
But also, real quick, side note, I want to just say Emma is not fazed by anything. I one time, not even calling her, texted her, nothing. It was a couple months ago. Just ran into her. I was waiting to get on my plane at LAX, and the plane was deplaning, whatever it's called. And Emma just walks out, and I go, "Oh my God, Emma!" And your reaction to me at LAX, you looked up and went, "Oh, hey, Matteo, listen, this is the worst part. I gotta tell you." And I'm like, not even like most people are like, "Oh my God, that's so crazy. How are you? Blah blah blah. That's so fun." You were just like, "Oh, listen, I gotta tell you something."
Wait, was this one that?
Then I met that James Boldini guy, the famous guy from the what's that? The Virgin, the Virgin show.
I actually think this was right when I was opening for Carly, and she canceled the show because the booker was homophobic. Wasn't that?
Yes, that is what happened.
Shout outs to Carly Aquilino because the booker was being homophobic, and she canceled the shows.
But I just love that anyone, even strange people I don't like, would be like, "Oh my God!" You did not.
That's just how beat down I am.
Up and you just said,
hey.
Matteo, what's going on? Listen, I gotta
the business. Where do we even?
Where do we even begin?
We've got there's someone.
Do I talk about this person famous that I'm talking to?
Yes, please.
I'm not going to say their name until this ends, but I'm talking to this guy who we matched on Tinder. And by the way, Tinder's like a really buggy app, by the way.
I didn't even know you were doing Tinder.
Well, I got off Grindr and Scruff.
Right.
I wasn't even why did I even say Scruff? That was like years ago.
Well, I've heard Scruff is like supposed to be good.
So I matched with this person on Tinder who's famous, all right? And
shouldn't they be on Raya? The famous people?
I can't get on Raya because I tried to apply like 2 years ago.
Can Carly get Carly?
Carly's the one who recommended me.
And they didn't let you on?
No, because it was 2 years ago, and they're like, your application is waiting or whatever. Even though I'm like, I know. So I was like, whatever. And also, gays, we all going to meet each other in the same places anyways. It's
right.
Who gives a shit? And they're all hairdressers. So I'm talking to this guy, and it's one of these things where it's like, I mean, he's very handsome, but he's a lot. And I've met him once because we're friends through a couple drag queens that I'm friends with.
Holler.
So it's one of these things like, I think we're going to get a drink next week. And
Great.
No, because a part of me is like, he's very nice and really, really talented. But I don't think he has any clue what I do.
But here's the thing.
And also, I feel like it's a weird power thing. I guess so.
Because he's really famous?
Yeah, that's the weird thing.
How famous?
Like, very famous.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
It is a weird power thing.
I get so nervous.
Me too. When someone's really famous, I don't want them to think I want anything from them.
It's Chelsea Clinton.
I knew it. When someone's really famous and I'm around, I don't want them to think that I'm going to use them or want anything. So I'm actually unfriendly. Because I'm
actually pretty casual. I mean, the thing is, it's like, it's not, I'm no spring chicken.
I'm Amy. That's what I do.
I'm not like, just like working at a desk all day. Like, I mean, I'm surrounded by
totally
people who are famous. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, I'm not famous, but I have friends who are. So that world doesn't intimidate me. I think the same way it might intimidate a lot of people. So I'm not fazed by that. I'm just fazed by the fact that it's like, I worry about like maybe the power I don't know. Who the fuck knows what's gonna. I'll go for a drink and then report back.
There's definitely a certain kind of like nerves about that stuff. And this was an interesting thing. So I haven't been going to AA meetings, but I have been talking to that sponsor. And so...
Which is Blue Apron.
Which is... it's like a...
We didn't know sponsors for this show. How do we get a sponsor
this is a different...
for this show?
In AA, a sponsor is like like your therapist, basically.
I understand, but how do we get a Squatty Potty?
We want a Squatty Potty. If you're listening and you know anyone at Squatty Potty. But the sponsor said, because he was like, celebrity is addictive. Because I was like, I'm thinking about reaching out to Louis C.K. and just texting him and saying, hey, like...
I can't believe you brought this up.
This was before this really exploded. And I was like, hey, like, people are really complicated and fucked up. If you ever want to go to a support group, let me know. And just leave it at that. So I told my sponsor, and he was like, no. He was like, the thing you need to realize is celebrity is like an addictive thing. So you need to think, would you message him if it wasn't like a high you could get from like an inside scoop and access to a celebrity? And I was like, I can't answer that question honestly, so I just won't. I was like, I don't know, so I just won't text him. And I'm glad that I didn't, because that would have been one. I'm sure he wouldn't have responded, but two, So that's all to say, like, celebrity, there's something about it that is intoxicating that then alters, like, your thinking.
Well, it's definitely different.
You should go in your character.
When you're...
Do you know how excited people are going to be for you to go on a date? Like, when is the date?
It's going to be...
I'm putting it in my calendar.
Next week.
Can you Facebook Live it?
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
He doesn't even need to be in it. It's not even about you going out with a celebrity. It's about you just being on a date. I just want to see what you do. How do you greet? Do you shake hands or do you hug?
I give a hug.
Is he more masculine or more feminine?
We're about the same.
He's going to be so excited to go on a date with you.
Let's not say things we can't take back.
No.
Excited? I don't know if anyone's excited.
God. How could he not be excited?
I don't know if excited is the word.
I just think...
He has no idea what I do, because I said...
Yeah, I'm sure he's Googled you.
No, because I said, I have shows this weekend, let's get a drink next week, and he goes, what kind of shows? And then he asked another question, so we never got back to it. But the second I say, I'm a comedian...
Why don't
He's going to be like, oh, well, you're going to be talking about this on stage. And I'm like, well,
I hate that question.
If it's good enough.
Yeah. Like, all depends.
If it's interesting enough.
All depends. Your move now, buddy. You answer that for me. Oh, God. Thanksgiving is going to be such a clusterfuck of family members telling me things to put in my joke.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
I'm going to Boston, and I'm going to see my sister and the baby.
And your mom?
And my mom.
Will you please, like, record something and bring it back?
Yeah, I will.
You know what? We'll each record some audio for our Thanksgiving, and then we'll bring it back.
Yes.
Bob the drag queen and I are having Thanksgiving together.
Oh, that's so cute.
Well, I have to teach him how to bake and cook.
Oh, you got to videotape that.
He has almost no idea. He goes, I have no idea. First of all...
Just the two of you?
No, there's going to be 5 of us, but...
And we're going to have Bob the drag queen on sometime, guys. And we should have him on to help us answer questions, because we've been getting a lot of good questions.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll definitely answer questions with our next guest.
Yes.
But, yeah, Bob, I have him coming over to my house because I'm going to make apple pie.
Nice.
And I need help because I need someone to help me with the apples and cut them up and peel them and stuff like that. And then I'm going to be... I make lasagna for Thanksgiving.
I love lasagna.
So, I mean, that's what we do. And then my friend Patty wants to make mac and cheese.
Patty!
But, Patty was on the show.
Yep.
But then Evan Williams, he is going to make the turkey because that's the man job.
Is he bringing his wife?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so there'll be like 5. It's me, and I think my friend Alfredo. So it's like me, Bob, Alfredo, Patty, Evan, and Felicia.
Oh, that's so nice. You're going to have like a...
But at Bob's house because it has more space.
And also, like, shout outs to people that feel like weird around their family or maybe are in the closet during Thanksgiving, because I remember that, and that shit is... It's just, like, my family's always been okay with me being gay, but so not okay with me.
But they had their own table separate from you with one
but I ate
chair
outside.
and a candle. Yeah. They had in the doghouse, they put your table there.
One year, my mom goes... her family's really big, so there was a cousin that wasn't at Thanksgiving that called. She's like... Wendy called and asked how we were doing and what we were up to for the holidays. And she said, so how's Emma? And I said, well, she's a lesbian. And I was like, what? She's like, I said, you're doing well. But I said, she's a lesbian. And I was like, that's how you answered how I'm doing? She's like, I said, she's a lesbian. And I was like, that's not how I'm doing, though. I was like, I'm doing okay. And she's like, I know, that's what I told her. I said, and she said, oh, and how is that? And I said, it's going pretty well. And I was
like, it's a career move?
Yeah. She goes, she's a lesbian. One time, I'm going to say this little mom story too. I think you would appreciate this.
That's all I want to hear.
When I wanted to start a website for a little while, so my mom was taking a happiness class. So that's not part of the story. But
when you're taking a happiness class, you've hit rock bottom.
There's I know.
What's your mother's name?
Susan.
I'm sorry, Susan.
She was taking it in Cambridge, Massachusetts, like meditation and happiness.
But most classes, it's under the guise of like self-confidence,
right?
Anything but just the word happiness.
To like a happiness class, how to cultivate happiness in your life. So there was a woman entrepreneur in the class, and my mom was like, well, my daughter wants to be an entrepreneur. Why don't we all go get dinner? So the 3 of us went out. This is like years ago.
How old were you?
8. No, I think I was just out of college.
Were you doing comedy then?
No.
Okay. You wanted to be an entrepreneur.
I wanted to start a website.
That's the sign of a lesbian.
Yeah, I've got to start my own business.
Yeah.
Not working for someone else. Build the shop. But so the 3 of us go out to dinner, and the woman is very, very nice. She mentioned that she's Catholic. She's wearing a big cross. And she's like, oh, so Emma, are you dating? Do you have a boyfriend? And my mom goes, oh, no. She's actually a lesbian, so that's not how that works. And I was like... Oh, and the girl was like, oh, nice, you have a girlfriend? My mom's like, she doesn't, but that would be what she would be dating, because as a lesbian, she would have a girlfriend and not a boyfriend as part of that.
What your mother should be saying, I support this.
Yeah, she was like literally like defining it. She's like, no, she doesn't have a boyfriend because she's a lesbian, and that's not what they do.
Thanks, Wikipedia.
Thanks, Mom. And then the woman was like, oh, great, like, cool. And then I was like... beat red. Just couldn't have been... She doesn't have a boyfriend. She's a lesbian.
How old were you when you came out to your mom?
sophomore year of college.
Okay. So like 18, 19.
Yeah, so she had known for a while. She was just letting other people know very explicitly what that entails.
Yeah.
She's a lesbian, so they don't do that. It's not part of their thing.
I'm trying to think of like if my mom would ever say that to anybody. Mateo's.
And it came from a very good place. I mean, it was sweet. She was like,
So, learn. learn about what they are. You should recognize
well,
what they
you know
are.
what, though? Because you're from a small town in Maine.
right.
It makes you, that's something interesting.
Sure.
That's like almost like a touch of ethnic to have a lesbian in the family.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because, I just imagine everyone blonde hair, blue eyes, quiet, no problems on the outside.
Yeah.
Kind of.
My mom's family is definitely like that, 100%. Like, whenever, like, we all, in the summer, we would go to Cape Cod and, like, play tennis and do that kind of stuff.
God, you're white.
I know. And my sisters, anytime we would have friends, she's got these friends there that are Indian, then they were like, please bring us back to Cape Cod. We feel like we're, like, watching how white people are made.
Honestly.
Yeah, they were like, it's like, they're like, it's like a fun social experiment.
Do you know what's
for
really
us.
funny? Because my mom's family, my dad is like really white. I mean, they're Irish in the background, but they're not like, oh, Tatar. They're just like white. They've been here forever. And,
Oh, Tatar.
and my dad's one of four. And I think I have 4 cousins on his side, but my mother is Italian and Mexican.
Love.
So, and I grew up, and I know I've said this a million times, but like we literally all day, every day, cousins, grandparents,
Just so many
aunts,
cousins.
uncles, just like, it's so culturally different than my dad's family that like, even for me, like, I know I'm white, but it's like, I would go to my friend Mark's house who's like kind of waspy, like they're
Right.
really waspy, and like we would sit at the dinner table and only one person would talk at
Of
the
course.
same time, and I literally had never felt so uncomfortable my entire life to sit at this quiet dinner table. It's so uncomfortable.
Oh,
That's
one
why
person at a time, like, for sure.
I couldn't. In my family, you have to be holding 3 conversations at once.
That's so
3 conversations at once.
one person at a time. Yeah, like I couldn't even imagine, like that's just how
I
it
literally,
is.
and then his dad literally said, "What do you people eat for Thanksgiving?" As if I was like, "Well, when we get down from our tree, we prepare a coconut." Like the fuck? We're not a goddamn like monkey.
When I was in
But I said lasagna.
I had 2 black girlfriends back to back, right? They were both biracial though, so they had like the curly hair, but it was back to back. And I brought them both to Thanksgiving.
I don't even know what that means. They both had the curly hair. I'm trying to save you because that sounded bad.
They both had they were both mixed race and had the curly hair.
Oh, just keep going.
I'll look up the right way to say that. I apologize.
But on record,
profusely.
Emma said it.
Yeah, that was me, not Matteo. I apologize. So I was with 2 women of color, and they both had curly hair. Fuck me. I'll just say it a couple more times. So, but I brought one to Thanksgiving, and then the next year, 2 years later, I brought another one. And as we're going, the second one was named Brooke. And as we're driving, I'm like, oh my God, my family's not going to they're going to think it's the same girl. So I was like, oh shit, I should have told them that me and Lily broke up. I'm dating someone else now. And in my head,
Did they look that much alike?
no, not at all. But
Okay.
but I was like, my family's gonna be like, I was like, oh please. And my mom was like,
They'll know the difference.
and I was like, oh God. And then when Brooke walked in, my aunt was like, good to see you. Nice to meet you. And I was like, woo! But then she was like, I wish I had hair like you. And then she reached to touch it, and I like intercepted. And then Brooke was like, it's fine. I knew that this was going to happen. I was like, it's not fine. I'm very, very sorry. But then I had 2 blonde girlfriends back to back, and my aunt said the same thing. She goes, good to see you again. And I was like, boom. Fuck.
Evan Williams put it best about my family because my family's so, I'm not intimidating, but he goes, you know what it is about your family? I said, what? He goes, with Italian families, you get one audition and that's it. If you fail that audition,
They hate
you are exiled forever. And it's true. I mean, we have people in my family where it's like, it's so obvious who we like and who we don't like. And we all like move as this one like.
Even in your own family?
Yes. Are you joking? Yes. Well, people who marry into the family.
Right.
It's more of a thing.
Like, how could someone, like, for the person out there that's listening that will someday be your husband, when he meets your family,
well, here's
what
the
does
thing.
he need to do
when
to win them
you come
over?
to an Italian family, number one, there's no such thing as a family reunion because every day is a family reunion. There's no day in an Italian family where, oh my God, isn't it exciting? So-and-so's in town because everyone's just there. Okay. So when you walk into the family, the best thing to do.
The family.
Whenever I say the family, I'm referring to like hundreds of people.
Right.
Because that's what it is. And even like, okay, number one for my family, my cousin Megan will be like, oh, I'm dating this, like when she was dating, right? She was dating her husband at the time, Wally. Oh, I'm dating this guy, Wally. And then literally the first question everyone in my family says, did you warn him about the family? And then he goes, well, yeah, I've mentioned, I've said, are you bringing him to Christmas? Because that's when the
Shit
family
goes down.
turns into the Power Rangers when the robots come together and they form one big cyborg.
Right.
So when you walk into an Italian family, you just be yourself. Don't try and impress. And that's all I could say. If you try and be funnier than us, you're out. But if you're also quiet and weird, you're out. So just be yourself, engage in conversation appropriately, and
But what if you are kind of quiet naturally? Should that mean you push yourself to be more
as long
outgoing?
as you're still yourself.
Oh, God.
Do you see what I'm saying?
But actually, that's kind of like to win my mom over, too. It's like, be yourself and be friendly. Like, don't... Yeah, be friendly. Show interest. Showing interest goes a long way.
With my family at Christmas dinner, be prepared to talk about enlarged clitorises,
Oh, Jesus.
enemas, and there was a thing.
Sounds like a good time.
Oh yeah, murder. There's a lot of murder talk in my family.
Oh, God, we don't talk about anything in mine.
Oh my God, my grandma. Yeah, well, okay, so it was this guy in the part of Chicago where we're from who years ago would sneak into women's bedrooms and give them forced enemas. So that's been a topic of conversation every year. We go around to people who are new into the family and we say, how we ask them about that.
How do you feel? It's like how
We
you
would
suss
just say,
them out. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, we just say
forced enemas?
Yeah. It's a strange thing, but that's what he was into.
It's beyond bizarre.
I know. Yeah.
And he went to jail?
Yeah.
God, people.
My grandma met Evan Williams, and the first thing she said is, because they don't have internet, because my grandma pretends she's still in Italy, and she said, I want to see Anthony Weiner's dick.
Your grandmother said
Oh, yes.
that?
She said, I want to see the picture. Everyone's talking about the picture. I want to see the picture. So my Evan shows her the picture. She starts screaming. She's in her moo-moo and moccasins, and she goes, I don't even know what I'm looking at. And then Evan's like, well, it's a chub. And she goes, a chub? He goes, a chub is when you're not fully erect. She starts dying of laughter. They love him forever now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. You have to understand, my grandma has a cousin who murdered his wife with an axe because he wanted to marry a prostitute. And, I mean, there's
an axe?
Yeah, listen.
Did they go to jail for that?
No, he got away with it.
How'd he get away?
I don't know.
Man.
I know.
The life and times.
I know. Well, that was her family back then, but they're from Naples. But yeah, it's just there's been a lot. My mother, her childhood was so intense. It takes a lot to
See, I didn't realize your mom was Mexican Italian. I thought your dad was Mexican and your mom was Italian.
My dad's Irish, white, boring.
Do that impression again of the white.
Oh, the Irish. Oh,
Yeah.
tar tatu. But my mom's family's like din 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 din. My real grandfather, who's Mexican, my grandma divorced him when my mom was 12 because my mom's one of 7, but at the time she was one of 5 with the Mexican, and he had another woman who had 3 kids with her and named all the kids the same names so he wouldn't confuse the kids.
Now that's pimpin' 101.
I know. He was a low end, not suit guy for a gang / mob, but he was a big dude.
I love that.
And my Aunt Cindy thinks his brother is gay because he was beat up in high school, owned a woman's hair salon, and did theater.
Could have been.
Have I talked about this before on this podcast?
I don't think so.
So if I have, sorry. But I just have a very colorful family.
Yeah,
and my older brother's gay and my cousin's gay. Someone give me a TV show.
Seriously.
Just called WAP.
My mom's family was pretty interesting, but it's not. It's in a different way than that. And they're actually not even that interesting, except for President Garfield is in it. Great-great-great-grandfather. And then the guy who invented Magic: The Gathering, the card game.
Really?
Richard Garfield, yeah.
Yeah, I think, my grandma has this great quote on her fridge, and it was during, I think the Baroque.
But I'm not, allowed to be near Richard. My mom doesn't let me, be alone with him.
Well, that's not good.
Because I've always, been, very, motivated / kind of nuts. So my mom's like, you can't be near Richard because you're going to try to get him to give you money to start a business. I'm like, you're so fucking right. So, anytime I've been around him, it's, in a group setting. And then I'll be
So you're the problem.
Oh,
She's
I'm
trying
the
to
problem.
keep Richard away from you.
Richard's, anytime I've met him, he's just there, seeing his parents who live in Portland, Oregon. But when I, met him, I wanted to be I have this idea for a website, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. So my mom's like, no, you do. So I've never been, alone with Richard because I'll harass him. He's worth like $100 million. If I'm alone with him, I'm gonna be like, give me $1 million. $100 million. Like, what do you need with that much money?
10, 50, 100,000.
Give me some,
and then give me 20,000.
That's what I told my mom. I was like, if he has that much money, like, he should give me some money. And she's like, that's inappropriate. And I was like, but like, I feel like it's not fair to just have all that money.
You know, I don't have like rich people in my family.
Well, my
brother.
The rest of his
family's
family's like not wealthy. He like helps everybody out, but we're too distant for him to give us money. My mom's like, that's like sick that you would even think to ask him for money.
See, if I called my grandpa right now and I just said, Pops, can you write me a check for $5,000? He would do it in a second. But I've also never asked for him for anything.
Right.
I've never asked for it.
I'm gonna get a hold of Richard.
3 times a week.
My mom would be mortified.
Really? Yeah. I mean, I never would. But
he's a distant
like,
cousin. Like, it'd be pretty shitty of me. But at the same time, give me some money.
What are you gonna do? What do you need money? You're making your own money.
I know, but
I'm turning into William Williams. Yeah, you make your own money.
Actually, now I don't want any money. Now I wouldn't need any money from him. And I never.
Suddenly a large Hollywood star.
I never really did, but at the same time, like, that's if you have that much money, like, Magic the Gathering is like so big.
All right, let's put this into perspective. Let's say you have $100,000 because
like $100 million.
$100 million, sorry. And then your second cousin, who you barely talk to, out of the blue, calls you up because they want $1 million.
I'd be like, if it was,
you would say, get out of here.
If it was hard to get my number,
can you make up a lesbian magic game? Why don't you and I come up with a gay lesbian magic game?
All right.
It could be the same rules, but just make everything.
You're gay.
Yeah, just make everything
Ta-da!
gayer.
All right.
If you were going to go on Shark Tank, what would you bring to them?
Oh, I know exactly.
I want to tell you a story
cigarettes.
about a young girl who became a waitress. I love that people are tweeting that at me now. And for that reason, I'm out. I was obsessed with Barbara for a week, and anyone who sends me tweets about Barbara, I love.
Oh, it makes my life. I'm so excited for.
Do I smell?
Not at all.
Are you sure?
Positive.
I feel like I smell. I mean, thank God the people at home can't hear it.
But
I just worked out, and I didn't shower, but I didn't sweat that much.
And he looks great. And we've got we've got a guest in the studio.
Yeah, for the next episode.
Can't wait.
How long has this one been so far, Alex? Almost 40 minutes. We could do 5 more minutes. We could honestly do 8 hours.
True.
Don't you think so?
I mean, I can just keep talking.
I mean, neither one of us will ever shut up. Mm-hmm. Do you think it's bad?
I don't know, but
Can I say, I think
our next guest is just as chatty too.
I think I'm such a weird person.
Me too. I think
that's a weird. Like, I was on this date with this guy a couple weeks ago, and as I talk, I know, and my family talks this way too, and I know I adopted it from them. But it's also a performer thing, not like show choir, but like when I talk, I'll do impressions as I talk, or like I'll elevate my voice, and I don't even realize I'm doing it. But he pointed it out to me, made me very insecure about it, because he's like, are you doing like a bit? And I
said,
was
this?
What? This guy I was dating, and he goes, I go, what? He goes, you like changed your voice when you were talking, and I said, yeah. He goes, oh, I didn't. Have you rehearsed this? And I was like, no. I was like, this is just how I talk. Right. And then it made me very insecure, because it's like, I think I look outside of our community of comedians. I think I look crazy.
Well, yeah. Not you, but all, because I know,
but then it's like, oh God, then I'm extra insecure around men.
No, that's just me. I think that's just called having like a big, like a personality.
Yeah, but I mean, also, do I look like the Exorcist girl, just like using different voices? I mean, that's frankly what I feel like.
That guy sounds like he's just like kind of like boring.
I mean, he is. He was boring.
Although when people ask if they're like, "Are you working out material?" I'm always like, "No," but why? Do you think that could be a joke? Because I will, but that is kind of like a weird question, because it's like, oh, I would never do that. Like, I hate when comedians are just talking to someone and they just start wiggling in material as like and trying to be all sly with it. I'm like, that's like not fair. It's like it's rude, quite frankly, because you're using the other person unknowingly, and that shit has been established recently.
But yeah, you really and I have both done that.
I've done it, yeah.
Right.
So, I've done it at the grocery store. I've done it like on a. I mean,
are you kidding?
Me at the Hertz rental car counter. Watch out!
Can we talk about that?
No one is funnier than me at a rental car counter.
Not when you and I went. Not when you and I went.
Oh no, I did not.
Can we talk about that? I
almost got in a fight.
Almost.
I got.
We did get into a fight.
Yeah.
I would like to speak on this.
That was not.
I would like to speak on this because normally I'm the first person to yell in public.
Yeah.
I am so Italian. I'm
good to go.
Slightest drop.
Me not drinking, I'm fucking.
Yeah. Exactly. So I'm waiting in line with Emma
And Patty.
By the way, I have to pay you. Do they give you money?
They're sending it to me.
Okay. So figure it out. All right, great. So you don't hate me.
Of course not.
Perfect. So Emma's renting a car because I don't have a license. So it's me and Emma and Patty. Patty, who was on the episode 3 episodes ago. Now I'm 5'9", and Emma is a close 3'8".
Yes.
And Patty's about 1'4".
And he's very slim.
Both just tiny little munchkin gays.
Right.
So
Munchkin gays on different ends of the spectrums. Patty is very feminine and beautiful, and
And you're very beautiful. You're very masculine.
I'm
trying to give you the compliment you want to hear.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so you're both now, and you're like, you guys would both be, and I'm as gay as they come, but we're all like sort of classic gays, right?
Right.
So we're standing there, we're all kind of pissed off, waiting at Hertz. This guy behind us starts saying, he's huffing and puffing.
Why am I waiting in line? Why am I waiting in line?
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker cuts the line.
First he goes, I drove all the way across the country to wait in line, and then literally Emma gave him like the first warning shot. She just turns around, she's like, yeah, dude, we've all been traveling. We're waiting in line. Like,
we're
chill
all
out,
in the
dude.
line together. That was the first warning shot because he did that. He was huffing and puffing behind us, like he thought that he had something up on us. So I was like, "Yep, we've all been doing that."
Yes. So then he cuts the line, and before my whoppiness comes out, Emma is literally like starts pointing. First of all, you're pointing. That's it. You're pointing, and the voice raises to a 10. And hey, sir, like you were a police officer, sir, you cannot cut the line. He just cut the line.
Also, let's keep in mind that the all that is in the line is us and him. There's no
And
long
no one
line.
else. There's no line.
I'm just yelling to like a pretty empty spot right now.
But he deserved it. And then
I was gonna fucking kill him.
well, he turns around thinking I'm gonna show these people and says, I just drove across the country. And Patty, who works for a drag queen and travels all over the world, literally goes, Patty puts his hand out into the classic
I'm pointing,
gay,
and then he does the waggy finger.
And Patty's like, I don't even think so, sir. I just came from Peru to Australia to Hawaii to here. Girl, you're not the only one traveling, boo-boo. You are not the only one traveling. And he's doing that where like the gay thing where like the hand comes out and he's like
Catching the air,
catching nothing.
Pulling the spirit from the guy.
But he's letting him know. And Emma at the same time.
Like, I give a fuck that you did that to yourself, and you think that gives you the audacity to just cut the line at Hertz rental car in Midtown?
And I'm standing there like, my 2 gay children are defending losing their mind. And that's when it hit me. I was like, don't fuck with the gays.
Don't.
We will get
and if someone does something rude, because I was like, who do you think you are? Also, if he had been like, it's all about the way, if he had been like, oh, I'm in an emergency, I would have been understanding. But that shit with the attitude, don't give me your attitude, dude.
Oh, such attitude. At Hertz in Midtown.
And
I was
then I realized that he was some kind of like elite program member, so he actually was allowed to cut the line.
Also,
remember?
he can suck my dick.
Yeah.
I was at a restaurant last night,
off.
and I walk up to the bathroom. There's 2 bathrooms, and there's a guy waiting. And one of the signs said vacant. And so I said, oh, and he goes, no, someone's in there. I said, oh, okay, cool. So we both waited. Some other woman walks up, and he goes, oh, no, there's someone in there. So I said, okay. And then the one bathroom door opens. He goes in. The other one's not opening, but it says vacant. And so we're both standing there, and she's like pacing back and forth. And I said, yeah, sorry, I know he said someone's in there. And she goes, oh, she's huffing and puffing. So finally she opens it up, and it's empty. And then she goes, it's empty. And I said, oh, sorry. I like giggled. I was like, oh my God, that's so funny. Like, it's a nice restaurant. I said, oh my God, that's so funny. Like, he told me. And so I start walking in, and she starts slamming the door on me to shut it. Like, literally, like, shoving me in.
It's going down,
and
bitch.
I'm like, listen, I don't care if you have the worst diarrhea in the world. I literally opened it up, and I was like, you don't have to be such a cunt. I was like, you're not going to come after me, bitch. And then I took all the time.
Absolutely.
All I had to do was
a nap
pee.
in there.
Take a nap. I'm redecorating.
Right.
You have just barked up the wrong tree. You're going to slam this door shut? Fine.
Oh.
I locked that door. I peed. I meditated. I gave birth. I mean, I was like, I will do whatever it takes.
Right.
Oh, HGTV the entire goddamn bathroom. Barking up the wrong tree, bitch.
Yeah, don't be rude.
All she had to say was, oh my God, that's so funny. I'm so sorry. I really need to go to the bathroom. I would have said, absolutely, go ahead.
Please.
I just have to go pee. Oh no, slamming the door on me. I thought, you
I will ruin your fucking
I will
life.
ruin your life.
I will slit your throat. Yeah, I get very violent. When someone's rude, I escalate it to a million.
I know. And then I realize
Me too.
Maybe
Like,
I'm the asshole.
if someone does something like that, then I'm like, I'm going to peel your face off and make you eat it. And they're like, oh my God. Like, but it's only if they're really rude.
I know. I do hate rude people in public, except when I'm rude. Then I'm like...
I was doing it Comic-Con, and there's a lot of people that are like more what would be considered like.
What were you doing at Comic-Con?
I was covering it, doing like basically like man on the street stuff. But the people there are really, really nice, and they're a lot of time like that's their safe space to come in their costumes.
Right.
And I interviewed this girl. She had this amazing Sailor Moon costume. She was in a box, and like it was supposed to be like a Sailor Moon video, and she let me like in the box and was like super, super nice. And after I interviewed her, I heard this guy interviewing her, and he was being mean to her. He was like, oh, so is this like when the freaks and geeks come out? He said that. So while I'm interviewing someone else, I kind of start like almost like twitching. He's like, is this like the one day you feel normal? And she was like, no, I always feel normal. I have a lot of friends into this, and just the way he's talking. And then I heard a little crack, and the fucking asshole managed to like break her box. So I said, I'm going to kill you. But I said it like to the person that I'm interviewing currently. I'm like, not you. I was like, that guy. I was like, I'm going to fucking kill that guy. I was like, what an asshole. I was like, you don't just make fun of people.
Did
like
you say
this.
it to his face?
Yeah, but there's a bunch of people around. It was unclear who I was talking to. So I just looked like a psychopath.
I would have done the same thing.
And then I've been talking
and then
about it
fought
ever
with Vanessa
since.
Williams.
I was like, this guy is a dick. I was like, you can't just come here and be accepted into community and then make fun of them. You
Right.
fucking jack
Right.
off. I hope
you want to know
everyone
why?
dies.
Because we're gay, and so we know when we're at like gay bars and when straight people come in, not all straight people, but the certain type of like straight person who comes in and views it almost as like a petting
Yeah,
zoo.
don't be mean.
Like this is what they do. Like
you're
girl, this is
mean,
what you wish you could
I'll
do
get
too.
so much meaner. Like I was like, I'll find where your grandmother's at a nursing home and like pay someone to put like cyanide in her
Now,
toothpaste.
see, with this conversation, you'd be welcomed into my family.
Oh, this.
All right, we gotta go. Listen, I love you. I'm so happy you're back.
Me too. Back, and then I go back next to film.
But when do you come back after that?
A week.
Okay, great. Then I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
All right. Make sure to tweet us and make sure to subscribe.
If you rate
What are
and
they
subscribe,
supposed to do?
If you rate and subscribe, and let us know feedback. Like when you guys don't like something, let us know. When
Actually,
you like
no,
something,
just when you like something.
okay, just when you like
Because
something.
I have enough insecurities, and we're doing this for free, and I'm enjoying my conversation with you.
That's true.
So just
And we love meeting you guys.
And I already feel bad enough about myself.
Okay.
I had a woman slam the door on me at the bathroom the other night.
Okay, good. Rate positive things, and if you have something negative to say,
Tweet it at
Carrot Top,
Carrot Top instead.
please.